Welcome, everyone, to episode 23 of the Bon Bon Show. Today is May 31st, 2026. And on this show, we're going to pretend to be super posh and to have all the money because the trains we're chatting about today are in the stratosphere of pure class, affordability, and luxury. But hey, we love trains, and though we can't go on all of them, we can at least dream.
We can dream indeed. Hello, Aaron, and hello, listeners. This is Kirk. Welcome to today's episode of the Bonbon Show. This episode is an interesting one, as Aaron was saying. We will be
Hmm.
talking about exclusive and very expensive trains in Japan.
Yes, a very interesting topic because nor you or I have any firsthand experience riding on these trains that we will talk about, but we'll gush over them and wish maybe one day we'll spend all of our money and ride them in happiness, but also cry a little bit inside about how much money we've spent.
Exactly. It's funny how just a few episodes ago we were talking about station tags, eki tags, collecting digital stamps, and talking about books about Japanese trains. And here we are now. The opposite end of the spectrum. Very expensive trains that we'll probably never be able to afford.
Yes, and yeah, it's the whole spectrum of trains is wide and far and deep and yeah, it's just a nice it gives everyone I guess a little bit of perspective on the world of trains. There's just it's so vast and it's you might not think that there's really expensive trains to ride on. Like you might just be like, "Oh, don't they just take you from point A to point B and that's really all they
Mm-hmm.
are and there's nothing more to them?" Yeah, guess again, they can get really niche and crazy, and yeah, we'll learn a little bit about that today. But before we get started, let's hear a little bit of where this all started from Kirk's side. Let's go for a
Yeah.
little story time.
Yeah. Backstory time. So, a few months ago, I went to a football soccer match in Omiya. As you guys know, I mentioned it in a few episodes ago. If you've been listening, that I support the uh, Omiya Ardija, or RB Omiya as they're known now, Red Bull Omiya. So after the match, while heading back into Tokyo, I just noticed this very sleek looking train at the Omiya station. I was like, I've never seen a train like this before. Like, this is amazing. So, being the train geek that I am, or Densha Otaku, I started taking photos and recording videos. Just so I was like, I've never seen anything like this. So, of course, I shared it with another train geek who turns out to be
Hmm?
no other than my co-host on this very podcast. I was like, "Yo, Aaron, next time you're in Japan, we should totally take this train. Let's find out what it is, what's it called. You know what I mean? Like, this looks so cool. We'd totally enjoy it." But like, even while recording the videos, it's like, why is everyone on this train in suits? And you know what I mean? That everything looks so fancy. I guess, as Aaron was saying earlier, that because we have like expensive hotels and expensive cruises and expensive cars, I guess I don't know why I didn't think in my brain that there were like super posh, luxury, expensive trains that are outside the affordability of the common man.
Hmm. Yep.
But yeah, so turns out that when we did find out about said train, the Shiki-Shima was the train that I saw, and Aaron will be telling us more about it later. It was, let's just say, way out of our budget, and we will probably never be able to ride that train. But who to tell? Maybe we can take some photos at the station together sometime.
Yeah, that's probably the closest we're gonna get. And then even then they'll be like, hey, back away, you commoner. Get out of here
Yeah.
with your dirty
Mhm.
hands.
Exactly. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm gonna be looping the little maybe 25-second clip combined that I took of the Shiki-Shima at Omiya station. So yeah, please check us out on YouTube if you're listening to us anywhere else. We're also on Spotify, on YouTube Music, and Amazon Music. So yeah, Bonbon Show. See, we're getting better at this. We can plug the show mid-show now. Let's go. Episode 23.
Ooh,
Promote
ooh.
unlocked. But yeah, tell us about the Shikishima, Aaron.
The Shikishima is an interesting one. I think if you were to see the photos or look at it after the fact or on the clip if you're on YouTube, you'll definitely tell that it's got a very unique design to it from an architectural perspective. The way the windows are shaped, they're organized in a very unique and almost kind of futuristic way throughout the entire train, not just on the front and the rear of the train, but throughout. And I think when you had shown me your clips and the pictures of it, I was like, I've definitely seen this train from all the videos that I've watched on YouTube with Kai and I kind of scoping out different trains and stuff as we learn about more and more about trains and the books that we've read and whatnot. And I never knew the name of the train. It wasn't one that was regularly seen in our videos just because it is, I would say, like Kirk got a very rare sighting as to see it in person because the frequency of this train is not high and there's only one train. Like there's not multiple versions of this train that run. There's only one train with a set of cars that are built specifically to run I guess a particular set of itineraries throughout the year. So yeah, in terms of like rareness, Kirk got like a very rare sighting. So um, at least that's pretty cool. Even though you
Yeah,
can't ride it, at
yeah.
least you got to see it in person because a lot of
I saw
people,
it in person. I should get
yeah,
like a medal, like a train geek medal or something. Ha 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 ha.
yeah,
How
you should
many
be able to
train
get an
geeks?
Eki tag for your rare sighting.
Exactly. I should have like touched it or tried to lick it and been arrested, you know?
Yeah, yeah, it would have been worth going to jail for sure. I think. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you told me you're like, "Hey, guess how much this train is?" And I would have like a few $1,000s would have been like $2,000 or $3,000 for like a day or two to go on it would have been like something that I would have been at least maybe tempted to do once in my life, like save up for a number of years and then uh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, plan a cool weekend when I come visit you and we can definitely go on it after you save for like, however much time you need. Um
Exactly. That was the original
and
thinking, like this looks posh. It's probably going to be
yeah,
expensive, but we were not thinking that expensive.
yeah. And then when I was guessing, you're like, nope, higher. And then I'd say another number, higher, another number, higher. I'm like, okay, this is becoming part of, an unrealistic amount that we would need to save. And so I think there's different itineraries. So when I last
Mm-hmm.
look on the website, I think you can book for the winter itineraries now. And just so everyone kind of understands where this train goes. So it's on the JR East lines. And there's, I think, depending on the time of year, there's like a 3 day itinerary. So 2 nights or a 2 day, 1 night itinerary. There might be a 4 day, 3 night itinerary, maybe like in the spring or summer.
Yeah.
But I'm not too sure. But in terms of like pricing, and where it goes more up north. So I think it goes as far north as Aomori Station and then would come all the way back. And so as you're on the train, it's making different stops. You're eating on the train. There's very like prestigious chefs that are on the train making very customized, you know, multi-course meals for the passengers. You do get to have some stopovers where you would get off the train, sometimes for sightseeing or sometimes for meals as well. So sometimes the meals are on the train, sometimes they're off the train at very, I guess, prestigious restaurants that are all catered towards the group of passengers that are on the train. And then, of course, one of the cool perks is that you're sleeping on the train, and I believe it's a 10 car train, and
Yeah, yeah. It is a 10
I
car
think,
train.
pardon me.
Yeah, it is a 10-car train. I'm
Oh,
just looking
10
at it
car
while
train.
you're talking. Yeah.
Nice. And I think it holds about 34 passengers. So not a lot of people are on this train considering, normal trains that would go up and down the line that would just be more focused on passengers are holding like, hundreds of passengers. This is,
Mm-hmm.
tens of passengers. And so in terms of the cost of all this, if you think about, okay, train running all the way up north from Tokyo Station to Aomori and back with prestigious chefs making customized meals. You get to sleep on the train. So I think the cheapest rough estimate for a 2 night trip was about, I guess I'll put this in Japanese yen and then convert it to Canadian, which would be the easiest for me to understand. Um, which I think is about 750,000 yen for one person to almost 2 million yen for one person. So depending on the room that you're going in, wanting to stay in, because there's different types of rooms, and then there's the itinerary length. So you're talking about 1 day, 2 nights, or 3 days, 2 nights. Those would obviously change the price. So you're talking about like for me, $8,000 to almost $20,000 Canadian for one
Woo!
person to go on a train journey is like, oh my goodness, that's a
Woo!
lot of money.
Can you imagine
um,
spending
yeah,
$8,000? That's the low end for 2 nights on the lowest room option available on this train. Like unbelievable.
yeah, it would
Oof.
be definitely a lottery type situation for me to throw that kind of money down on such an experience. And I imagine like the service, like Japanese service is already amazing, but like if you're paying that much money to go on a train,
Mm-hmm.
I imagine the service that you get from the people working on the train is just like next level. I wouldn't even be able to like describe what that service is like because I've would have never even encountered such a deep level of service ever in my life before, but I can imagine
Yeah.
how customized and personalized that level of service would be for those passengers. And then the food quality with the chefs on board and everything else that you would be getting for that price. Like, I'm sure when you're used to paying that much money for rich hotels and stuff, that you're just like,
Mm-hmm.
you don't even bat an eye at it. But for someone that, for like us, that would go up to that level just for a temporary would just be like, oh my goodness, this is like eye popping, right?
Yeah, the
Um,
other people would be on the train be like, "Oh my God, the commoners are with us.
yeah,
They're going
yeah.
crazy for the caviar."
Yeah, I want to postpone my journey because the commoners are with us today. I'll go next
Exactly.
weekend.
You know what I mean? Like he's not wearing a Versace suit. So what do you mean he bought his suit at Uniqlo?
Yeah, exactly. The
Yeah.
the one of the cool parts is if you can stay in the, I think it's the deluxe suite. It has a bathtub, and there's also it's two levels. I guess the main level is where you would kind of spend your time in the train car, but the second level in that particular sleeping unit is where you would sleep. So you go up a little set of stairs, and then there's your sleeping area, and like that's that's so cool to have your own, like obviously you have your own room on a train, but to have like a little upstairs on your own
Mm-hmm.
train car, like that's just, oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I can't even
definitely.
imagine.
Yeah.
So, and then another cool thing I like about this train too, and it's a sightseeing train. So I know when we were talking about the children's books a little while ago, when we were mentioning some of the different names for the different types of trains, and these types of trains would be under the Kanko Ressha type of style of trains, which would be sightseeing train. And so, of course, you want to enjoy the scenery as you're going by. And so, at the first car, and I guess the front car and the end car are designed in such a way where the windows are very unique, and it kind of like sets the mood with the motion of the train moving past you and the scenery. and it's designed very nicely to kind of make you feel like you're part of nature with the unique furniture and the decor and the customized um, aspect of the car, and so then you get immersed in this very um, delicate and creative, I guess, environment that the creator or the architect of that car had designed and purposefully put everything in place. And
But is
then
it
on
worth
top of that,
$20,000 though?
yeah, that's
That's
where all
my
the money
question.
goes.
Mhm.
And then you get to
I don't
sit in
know
these
about that.
seats and then watch the scenery go by. That would probably be my favorite part, is to get a chance to sit there. Like I would, I know they would never do this, but if they ever would allow like the public to like pay like a nominal fee just to like get a chance to go into the front or rear car and just get a chance to like sit in those seats and just kind of take a moment to like kind of soak that in, that would be cool.
Hmm.
Obviously not going on the train for a 2 night journey would be, another dream, but like even just being able to like go into the cars and walk through it just to see what it would be like in person would be cool. Cause like going to the website and looking at the pictures is like really cool enough to see like, oh, this train car has a like a mini onsen in it, almost, with the bathtub and the cypress wood that it's made out of, to like, oh my goodness. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but don't give up, Aaron. Don't give up. JR East, if you're listening to the Bonbon Show, episode 23. You know what I mean? Like if you're looking for influencers to tell the world about how awesome the Shiki-Shima is, like, look no further.
Mm.
We will definitely be willing. It would be difficult, but we'd make an exception for you, JR East. Let us ride the Shiki-Shima and tell the world, for free, that is, for free. Tell the world, do a vlog, and or 4-day experience, because we don't want to do just the 2-day or the 3-day. We want the whole package.
Hmm. Yeah.
And we promise you, JR East, that your sales, all 34 passenger seats would be filled for the next 10 years, because we have so many subscribers, so many
Hmm.
listeners. Like, JR East, we're begging you, please let us ride the Shika.
Onegai
The Shima.
shimasu. I'm bowing the deepest bow I could bow right now. Please.
But yeah, it would be definitely a once in a lifetime opportunity to ever be able to just even board the cars, as you said, without it being in motion. And like, yeah, I'm tempted to do the whole train spotter thing and literally hunt down this train to see when it is gonna be where, maybe get some photos. So don't be surprised a couple months from now you're listening to the episode again and you're like, ah, ha, 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 I have pictures and videos of the Shikishima all over Japan. I've spent the last 4 months on the trail finding all the spots to take photos of this amazing, luxurious, super expensive train. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you go really hardcore in your fandom about this particular train, like, yeah, take all the videos, take all the pictures, be like the number one fanboy of the Shikishima, and then let JR East know just how passionate you are. Maybe they will feel that tug in their heartstrings and be like, you know, Jemai Kirk, he loves our train
Hmm.
so much. He's just been writing about them and posting about them, and
Yeah, camping out
just
on the
his
side of a mountain in the
yeah.
wilderness to get the perfect angle of the summer and the winter and the fall foliage. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, look at these photos, man.
you have the Shikishima calendar that you're putting together, and the web app, and just, and telling everyone
Yeah.
about it. They'll
And this,
definitely let you go on board
yeah,
for at
let's.
least a minute or two.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. But yeah, it's an awesome, 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 awesome train. Is there anything else you wanted to share about the Shikishima? Or
Yeah,
yeah.
I think if you're curious, a good way of just learning about it, and just, I mean, we can explain it, but I think if you go on their official webpage, they do a really good job at showing, highlighting all the different cars, what all the different cars are for. So obviously you have the sleeping cars, then you have the sightseeing cars that I mentioned on the front and the back, and then you have like the eating car where you would go to participate in this eating experience. um
Oh,
yeah, go check
eating
out the website. You'll
experience.
be able to get a good feel of what that would be like for someone of that lifestyle would get to encounter. Not
Mm-hmm.
even bad an eye at. Come on. Um, there's a few other trains in Japan too that are at this level. I would say, based on what I'm seeing, it kind of sounds like the Shiki-Shima is like the most prestigious one. Um, but there
Is it
are
also the
two
most
others.
expensive one?
Yeah, I guess it. I think they are saying it is the most expensive one, but
Mm-hmm.
when I was looking at the web pages of the other two, they come pretty close. Like they seem like they're
Uh,
at the same level, but maybe value, or maybe they don't, the value proposition is not exactly the same. But I would say
mm,
these two offer a experience that would be at that same level for that type of demographic that's looking for the upper class of train journeys in Japan. So if you are interested in just checking those out, the names of those two trains would
mm-hmm.
be the Twilight Express, Mizukaze, which is part of
Ooh.
West Japan. So that one, it just this one's really cool, and I want to highlight one area that this train stops at. Um, Not even just because it's even just to get this particular location on people's radar, because I wasn't really an area that I knew of much of before, but it was actually an area that I stopped at on my way to see Kirk in person when he was living in Matsue. And so
Mm.
this would definitely be in a spot that I would encourage others to go to as well. So the Twilight Express kind of starts in the Kyoto Osaka area and then makes its way around. It actually goes to Matsue as well. And one of the
Matsue,
places that I
shout out
wanted,
to Shimane.
yeah,
Shimane, let's
yeah.
go.
Shout out to Matsue Castle.
Yes.
Um, is Kinosaki Onsen. So it's an onsen town. Um, that's kind of like the main thing you would go there for. So if you're into onsen or curious about onsen, um, I mean, there's a lot of different onsen towns throughout Japan. So you might be like, what's so special about this one? It was very walkable. What was really nice about it, it was we found a really so they have the like if you're familiar with onsen towns, they'll have like lots of traditional style ryokans. Those are like the traditional style onsen hotels where you would go and stay in like tatami mat style Japanese room. You may or may not have access to like a private onsen in your room. You'd get the very formal traditional Japanese dinner and breakfast. And then obviously
Ooh.
that hotel would have the attached onsen as a part of it. And so there'd be multiple
Okay.
of these ryokan scattered throughout the town. Um, this place had a nice little cafe that we stayed at, which was more affordable. So if you're looking for a budget friendly option, Kinosaki Onsen Town had a cafe that offered a more affordable option, that if you're not looking for your ryokan, but just a nice place to stay, but participate in the different onsens that you can go to. They had traditional style tatami mats on their second floor, which were way more affordable than a ryokan. Obviously, you're not getting the ryokan experience, but a way more affordable option. So I thought that was a really cool accommodation option for those that are traveling
Mm.
light or just want a cheaper option. And then what was really cool is you could, if you're staying for a day or two, you can buy an onsen pass for the town. And then that gives
Ooh.
you kind of like, I'm going to say like a onsen hodai, essentially. So you could,
Onsen Hodai.
yeah,
Nice.
I guess I should explain that. Onsen hodai would be like a all you can onsen for like one set price. So say for like $20, you could go to all the different onsen in town. You would just show them your little pass, and then that would allow you to use the onsen for that particular day. And so that's what this, I think a lot of towns offer this. This town obviously offered it. And then you would just go around the town and you just hop from one onsen to another. And you can just see people throughout the town just wearing the yukata and their sandals and just kind of, you know, going to different onsen throughout the evening. And
Nice,
there's a
nice,
nice
nice,
little,
nice.
um, like I guess little like ravine that goes through the town that you can hang out and chill on the benches. So just a beautiful, very like a beautiful place to be. And there was some hiking and a cable car that you could take to the top of like a little mountain hill to get a view of the scenery and the outlying area.
Look at you
So I know I'm
going to all the
getting off
onsens.
topic. Yeah, getting a little off topic, but this train, the Twilight Express Mizukaze, actually goes through Kinosaki Onsen. So don't have to take this train to get to Kinosaki Onsen. You can just take the regular train, which is way more affordable.
Uh-huh.
So just wanted to kind of shout out that little town. But if you want to check out this other train too, it's got its own little perks and design in terms of the train is it's a very like dark forest green. The front of the train's got like this unique kind of layered grill that makes it look kind of
Yeah, it looks quite unique. I feel like I've seen it when I was in Shimane. It looks very unique, and I think the model of this train is also quite popular
it is.
for railroad model builders. It's got like a very unique look, maybe even more unique than the Shikishima. Like the
Yeah.
Shikishima as a whole is quite sleek and unique, but the first train, the head train of the Twilight, what's it
Yeah.
called? Twilight Express, Mizukaze, is
Yeah.
quite
Hmm.
like recognize that the color and the shape anywhere.
Yeah, there's nothing else quite like it, especially the very front of it. It's really cool. I think my first encounter with it because I'm into Pura Rail with my son, and there's a Pura Rail model of the Twilight Express, so it's very popular because of that as well with the kids. And so without knowing it, they're playing with a really expensive train in real life.
Yeah.
um,
The Shiki-Shima is JR East,
yeah,
right? And the Twilight Express Mizukaze is JR West.
yes, that's
What
correct.
was the third train?
The third one would be JR Kyushu, and this one's called the
Aha.
Seven Stars. So it runs through like Hakata, so Fukuoka, and then there's a very popular area called Yufuin, and then it goes through like Miyazaki, Kagoshima, and kind of throughout
Ooh.
Kyushu. So this one is also very very fancy. The piece I really love about this, I think it's the marketing that got me, is they have like an intro page where you go to the website, it kind of opens up and it's like dark and you see like the train, it's moving backwards and you're on the tail end of the train and you can see the scenery around you is just like green foliage all around. It feels very like
Yeah.
tight knit and just like, oh, I just want to be there in person. It kind of like catches you from the very moment uh that the video starts. And again, this is another very premium type of experience. The videos kind of show where like people are kind of dressed up like they're from the 50s and very like traditional and like kind of
Ooh.
almost like a throwback into like old style train travel in a way, kind of giving you like that retro feel of what it would be like to travel on a train in luxury in the olden days. Um,
Mm.
so another really unique experience. Again, one that we'll likely never get to. But all of these ones take like you have to reserve so far in advance. They have like an application, and then you submit your application, and depending on how many applications you get, they receive. Then I believe it turns into a lottery. So just because
Lord have
you
mercy.
are yeah, not just because you apply doesn't actually mean that the journey that you want. I think you have to set your priority like, okay, I want this journey, but if it's not available, then I'll settle for this journey. You kind of rank them. So you might not even get the one that you want, and then you might just not get any at all if there's like an abundance of people applying for the same application
Yeah.
window that you are. So it's crazy. People, you know, people that have money are all competing amongst themselves to go on all of these adventures. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the website while you're talking, and it looks quite like, I don't know, it has like a very unique appeal to it. Like,
Hmm.
I see what you're saying about like the 1950s style, the hardwood type of, almost in some ways like late 1900s type look to some of it, but it still has like a Japanese
Yeah.
feel and
Hmm.
lighting, and like, this is, wow. Like, I can see the appeal. If I had the money, this looks like something I would spend said money on. I see like live performances with violins and jazz music and stuff from the pictures, and the train design itself looks like a little dark face, so to speak. Like, everything is
Hmm.
branded and premium, and like, okay, I guess I can see to an extent what you're paying for. If you're paying for a first class flight, I guess that's a couple hours in the sky. I guess the same price for a luxurious train ride would make air quotes financial sense.
Yeah,
Mm.
and you're
But
eating well. You get
mm,
to sleep in a nice accommodation, the entertainments. It would be interesting to see like what kind of people are on the train and who you would get to meet in any particular uh I guess ride that you're on, and who's on the train and what those conversations would be like, right? Like, you see
yeah.
those movies where like there's like the murder mystery on the train, and it's a very unique set of characters. I can't imagine that,
Yeah,
right? Something like that. Very
definitely. Yeah, that would
so
be amazing. Yeah.
yeah.
We can dream. We can dream as Densha Otaku, as train geeks. So we have JR East. Come on, guys, call us, call us. If JR East is busy and they don't want to, come on, JR West. Come on, the Twilight Express. We are always available. We have no friends, no family. We will do anything we need to do to get on that train. But in case JR West can't do it, come on, JR Kyushu. Come on, 7 stars. We've been saying nice things about your train. Wouldn't it be cool if you allowed us to board it? Come on,
It
guys. Don't
seven
be shy.
seven stars on my review. I would give them at least 8 or 9 stars, right?
Yeah,
Like,
10, like all the stars. I'll
yeah, how
pluck the
many stars you
stars
want?
from the heavens.
Why settle at
But
seven stars? Come on.
But now that we've
um,
gotten our fill of the expensive trains, are there like any more affordable sightseeing trains, at least in Japan, that would be feasible for people to aspire to take?
yeah, I think the ones that I've looked at the most, and the ones that are seem the most appealing to me, almost, I would say 90% of them are within Kyushu. Kyushu does a really good job at this, and maybe they've done a really good job at marketing them amongst all of the other sightseeing, more affordable sightseeing trains, in comparison against the rest of Japan. It's funny that 7 stars is one of the names of the trains of like the premium ones, because there's like a regular one called 2 stars. That'd be
For the
more affordable.
commoners.
So it's like, okay, what's the
Yeah.
difference between 2 stars and 7 stars?
Yeah, we dropped off some
Um,
stars, bruv. This is 2 stars for you. You've got 2 star
so
money.
yeah, these ones these ones are more like day trips. So, and they're more like, half a day, a few hours, depending if you're going to and from on the same train, or you're just taking a one-way trip, and then either you'll stay at the destination, you know, do whatever, and then just take a regular train back. Um, so some of them that people might be familiar with, one of the famous ones that you'll see in models a lot is called the Yufuin no Mori. So Yufuin's a very famous area in the Kyushu, in Kyushu specifically, and so there's another train that's also green as well. So Twilight Express is like a darker green, and Yufuin no Mori is a bit of a lighter green, but a very popular sightseeing
Mm.
train that you would
So it's
just
the
take.
knockoff. It's the knockoff, I see.
Yeah, it's
Just kidding, just kidding.
all of these are like, yeah, the cheaper, not as cool versions. Um,
So
but
we got
yeah,
the
there's
green train,
still
but it's not the expensive green train, and we've got the 2 star that's not the 7 star. I'm seeing a theme here.
yeah, that's actually quite funny. So yeah, these ones offer food on board as well. They obviously take more people, not as long as in duration, more affordable. They still have like a more of a premium price to them, but not anything that's like unrealistic that you wouldn't like no one could not afford. So you would just have to, and the distances are quite shorter, and they're very catered towards. Um, this is what the starting destination is known for, and then this is what the end destination is known for. So you're kind of interested in going to those 2 points, and then also riding like a nice, cool little sightseeing train, eat a snack on, um, you know, sightsee along the way. It might be a 2 hour train ride, and then you get to your destination, and then you hang out there for the rest of the day or so have you. One of the ones
Yeah.
that I really want to go on is called the Ibusuki no Tamatebako. I think it's called. Most people
Ooh.
just call it Ibutama. I call it Clair Obscure based on the video game because the train is kind of like if you
Ah.
look at it head on, half of it is white and then half of it is black. And so if you're
I'm
familiar with
looking at
the
it
Clair
now.
Obscure Expedition 33, there's an enemy that's half white and half black, like cut down in the middle. So when I saw this train, I'm like, that's the Clair Obscure train. Um, so I really want to ride that one. Another one that's cool is a Soul Boy. I think the mascot or the mascot for the train is a dog. It's also a black and white train. Runs a little bit more northern in Kyushu. Again, just a few hour train rides. So I think those are really cool for people to get a sense of the sightseeing aspect of a train because the configuration on the inside is different on how the seats are arranged. And then they have an area for eating. Some of them have like a souvenir shop in a way, so you can get some cool souvenirs, whether it's like, the traditional like file folders or keychains or other
Mm.
unique things on the train. Sometimes they've had a nice cool little like commemorable pamphlet that you can get that you can like slot your ticket in, and then you can stamp it on the inside and then stamp it with like the date that you took the train as like a really cool souvenir for you to keep hold of, that you went on the train at this date and you got the stamp and you slot your ticket in there. So that's kind of a cool thing. um
Yeah.
some of them are Go ahead.
It looks interesting. I'm looking at the Ibutama, you said?
Hmm.
Ibutama now, and it looks, yeah, this definitely is in our price point, so let's make it happen.
And some of them have, I've even seen some of them are very more like family oriented, where they have little sections for kids, and like I've seen one that had like a reading nook for kids or even just adults with like a bookshelf full of books and manga. You could just grab whatever you want, and then just kind of, the seating is like more along the window, so there's like a little table that's runs parallel with the window, and then you would sit at the table so you could read, and then you would look up and you'd be like, oh, there's the scenery of like the trees or the houses or the ocean passing by. So it's got like a really cool feel. um and yeah, there's some others that I would like to go on, as well, would be outside of Okayama, and then that would cross the strait into Shikoku, would be the Anpanman. They have various Kanko Ressha that are some of like, there's an open air one, and then there's some that will take you all the way to Kochi if you want, and they're all themed
Mm-hmm.
inside, more for family type of sightseeing, or more, I guess. If you're into Anpanman, you'd be more likely to want to ride them because they're very Anpanman themed. um, but those are
Ah,
some other ones that I've seen if you want to ride those. But yeah, I would love to go on a trip with you, Kirk, and we can just go to Kyushu one year and
mm-hmm.
just hop onto these different Kanko Resha and just enjoy the little snacks and whatever the unique I feel like the
Mm.
each train has their own unique charm, whether that's the architectural piece or maybe they're more food oriented or the way it's
Or the
designed or maybe
the
it's more
the
focused on the
location.
to and the from, the location. Yeah.
Yeah. Looks amazing, man. While you were talking, I remembered another train that fit the description of what you were saying, the Sapphire Odoriko, that goes
Yes,
from the
yes.
Tokyo area to the Izu Peninsula. And it's funny because a few weeks ago I did a whole road trip with some friends from Tokyo to the we didn't quite make it to the Izu Peninsula because everyone apparently had the same idea, so traffic was crazy. But I did see the Sapphire Odoriko while driving, and I was like, "Oh my god, that train looks so good."
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't because I was
that's
driving. I
cool.
wasn't able to take a video because I would have crashed the car, and I may have thought
Uh
about it. Maybe it was worth it. It's like, oh my god, I must take the photo, but my friends are in the car. It's okay, they'll live. But yeah, I feel like the Sapphire Odoriko is something that I would want to do soon. Still quite nice, nice seats, nice views, nice train, quite affordable.
mhm.
And you don't have to take it both ways. You can take it one way and then, enjoy like the Izu Peninsula and then take the regular train back to Tokyo at the end of the day or the other way around where you go to go to the Izu Peninsula, but then take the fancy train back. So, stuff like that. I guess we won't be taking the million yen trains, but I
Mm.
feel like I'd want to sample something in the Kanto area, something in the Osaka, Kyoto area, and then definitely Kyushu has quite a few. So we'll probably do 2 or 3 there. So yeah, let's do it. Maybe we'll update you guys in a few months slash years. We'll be like, okay, we've done
Yeah.
the we've done the what do you say it called? Ebutama? Edutama?
Ibutama. Yeah, Ibutama. I
Ibutama.
think that's the short
And
name for it. Yeah.
yeah, we've done the Ibutama and the Sapphire Odoriko. These are our experiences. Maybe we can record a little clip on board like, ha ha ha, we told you we're gonna make it, haters.
We did
Okay, fine.
it. Yeah. It's gonna
But
happen.
yeah,
It's gonna happen. I'm making it happen for sure. If
let's do
anyone
it. I'm
has
all on board.
any other if anyone listening has an experience riding like a Kanko Ressha sightseeing train in Japan, um, especially in some of the locations that we haven't shared with you today, I'm sure there's a lot throughout the country. And I know some you might even classify like some of the Jokikansha, the steam trains, like that would be a sightseeing type of sightseeing experience too. There's the Thomas the Train engine that runs in Japan as well. Again,
Mm-hmm.
those are all just for fun, just to get you to ride the train in a certain area and just enjoy a couple hours ride and enjoy the sights. So yeah, if anyone has any experience riding them or has any recommendations on ones to take or ones not to take because maybe it wasn't worth it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, feel free to let us know, and it'd be really cool to learn from you.
Yeah. If you want to send us an email with your recommendations or anything else, suggestions, feedback, any type of that stuff, remember you can get in touch with us at hello@bonbonshow.com. If you want to be awesome and be featured via your voice on an episode asking a question, please check us out at voicemail.bonbonshow.com. Record your question or comment, and we'll definitely play it on the show. We haven't had our first recording yet, and you don't want Aaron to send a recording trying to change up his voice to pretend like we've had a listener who sent us in
Uh,
a voice note.
I never.
Like,
What?
hello,
What are you talking about? I never done
hello,
such thing.
I'm totally Aaron, not Aaron. Like, why is that guy named Kirk so stupid? Yeah, I'm on to you.
Get
But
him
yeah,
off the show. No.
voicemail.bombonshow.com for audio recording or hello@bombonshow for an email. Want to take us out? Aaron, onegaishimasu.
Let's do it. Yes. We thanks for letting us gush a little bit about really expensive trains we'll likely never ride, but hopefully this kind of showcased a little bit to the listener today that the world of trains can get vast and expensive quite quickly. and out of our price range. But if any of you ever decide to ever go for some reason or get a chance to go, let us know. We would love to hear your experience. And yeah, if you ever get a chance to ride on some other sightseeing trains in Japan, or if you have any ideas, yeah, feel free to shout us out and let's chat. Thanks for taking the time to listen to us today, and we'll catch you on the next one. Mata ne.
Mata ne. Bye bye.